are you going to start and stop after each one?
Oh no, it's all gonna be together. It will all be together. Yeah.
Okay. But are you like, when you do that, are you pausing in between each one?
No,
when
it's
you
just
present it?
an overall video.
Are we on right now?
Yes, we are. All right. First of all, introduce yourself.
I am Mr. Stehouwer.
Okay. What college did you attend?
I went to Aquinas College, and then I got my master's through Western Michigan.
Okay. Why were you interested in becoming a physical education teacher?
I've always been interested in sports. I played them throughout high school. And then I started coaching football my sophomore year in college. And my old high school coach kind of mentioned teaching, and it kind of goes hand in hand. And so I started going into education, and been doing it ever since.
What sport did you play?
I played football, I ran track, and I played basketball.
Okay. Do you prefer teaching at a middle or high school level?
You know, I don't really have a preference between the two. I've been teaching in Godfrey for 18 years now, and I started out teaching elementary school. I did that for 11 years, so I kind of found that I really enjoy the secondary, the high school, middle school kids more than the elementary. So there's not a big difference for me between whether I have a 6th grade class or a class of high school kids. I know I prefer to be up here with the high schoolers rather than the elementary kids. So.
Okay. What is your best quality as a PE teacher right now?
One of the best quality, I just think it's on how I do my job. I really enjoy teaching. I enjoy what I do. I feel very blessed to have this job. So I think, you know, that's what I bring is every day. I'm just excited to be here, excited to try to teach, to have fun, and hopefully the kids get something out of the class.
Okay. What do you think your weakest quality is?
The weakest quality is I don't know everything, and it's also a challenge to make me a better teacher. I don't know how to handle every situation, everything that comes to school. I don't always handle things the best way. Just kind of work in progress, and so, you know, I don't have it all figured out yet. I guess is my biggest weakness.
Okay. What tasks do you find the most difficult as a teacher, and why?
The state of Michigan has added a whole lot of more requirements on teachers. You still always have to continue your education, but a lot more paperwork, behind the scenes kind of things that just people that aren't in education don't know about. And that gets a little overwhelming, a lot more paperwork and things like that. And so that's probably the biggest downfall of what I do, is just, you know, you're always trying to keep up with your certification and trying to make sure that you're getting all your paperwork turned in, put up on the web, and all that kind of stuff to make sure that the administrators and people at the state of Michigan can take a look at what you're doing and making sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Okay. I see you. All right, what are your top 3 goals of your what are your top 3 goals of your physical education program?
I would like, one, for me, I would like to be a better teacher. And so each and every year you kind of reevaluate what you're doing. And I feel if I become a better teacher, the program would become a better program. So that'd be 1 and 2. The third one is one that I've kind of always just had, is I would like every kid to get something out of the class. Find out that physical education or physical activity isn't boring, that you can have a good time doing it. And then I would hope that they would find that joy and then continue to do some things later on in their life, whether it's running, jogging, they find a sport, they do something to stay active. So that's the goal that I have as a teacher, is just to allow them to have that comfort level in trying new things, and hopefully they find something that they like, to be a healthier adult and live longer. So.
Which one do you think is the hardest to do between strength and conditioning? Which one did you find to be the most difficult?
In teaching, or just in my?
In your whole entire life, like which one did you find to be the most difficult? Conditioning or strength?
They both can be difficult, you know. In here, and even in my experience too, running wasn't my favorite thing, and so conditioning and doing those types of things always weren't my favorite. I enjoyed the weightlifting part, but every person's going to be different. Every kid's going to be different. It's always trying to get those kids that it's not necessarily their comfort level to get motivated to want to do it, and then to do it where it's benefiting them. So, one wasn't more difficult than the other. They both have their pros and cons, I guess. One's certain kids are going to like it. Like I have preferences. I would much rather lift weights myself than to go for a jog or to do the dots or the ladders or things that we have the kids doing here. And some kids are like that too. They are really fired up on the days that we're going to the weight room. Not so when we're running and working on our cardio stuff. So.
Okay. You or Michael Jordan, who would win in a one-on-one basketball game? Honestly, this is from your point of view.
Michael Jordan, without a doubt.
You think Michael Jordan would beat you?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Even now on one leg, he'd still beat me.
You think?
I think so.
Even at the age of 50?
Yeah, because he's only got me by 8 years, so.
I mean, that's a big difference.
Yeah. He was a world-class athlete. I was not, so.
All right. Who is your all-time hero when it comes to athleticism, and why?
Oh, yeah. Asked me this or showed me that question. I took a while and I thought, and there was a guy growing up, his name was Herschel Walker, and he played at the University of Georgia, and going through school, elementary, high school, is not in a big, wealthy school district, and so he never lifted weights. He did push-ups, sit-ups, and pull-ups in the end. Very little body fat. Ended up being one of the best football players ever. Won the Heisman as a sophomore in college. Went to the pros, and then after he got out of the NFL, he was retired. He went and decided to be part of the U.S. bobsled team. And so he went from playing football to the Winter Olympics, pushing a bobsled because he's a big, strong, powerful sprinter, and was a part of the bobsled team. Now he's doing the mixed martial arts type stuff, and they had something on ESPN, I don't know if it was a 30 for 30 or one of those 60-minute, not 60 for 60, but 30 for 30. And they had him on there, and he still looks like he could play college football now. He's 50 years old, and is in great shape. So I look at somebody like that, who is a really amazing athlete in college and in the NFL. Now that he's retired, he's still in great shape. That I think is pretty cool.
There's a lot of good 50-year-old players.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What sport would you prefer? From back in the day, you said you played football. And
Yep.
You played what was your favorite sport to play?
Football, and like I said, I played here, and then played a little bit in some summer teams, some full contact summer teams here in Grand Rapids for about 4 years, and that's kind of when I started getting into coaching. And this year will be my 24th year of coaching high school football. So
Where do you coach at?
I'm going to coach at Hudsonville this fall. So that's right where I live out west here. So
How does the talent look?
I haven't met any of the kids yet, but I coached against them last year, and they beat us pretty good. So I think they'll be fairly decent.
All right. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Well, cool. Thank you.
All right.